What's going on, guys, and welcome to the Christopher Mark Show. So today I have the privilege to be in front of an amazing person. She is, this is a rough one for me because I'm usually used to describing people, but it's in her name. So, Lady T, can you tell everybody your full name and what do you do?
I love that. My name is LadyTea Sturns. I am a Zen Spirit Life Coach, master energy healer, and master herbalist. Uh, my children and I built our business almost 10 years ago now to help individuals just to get back to themselves and embrace love on the deepest of levels, because I believe that that's where our healing power comes from. So.
I love that, and it's so true. It's very true. So, what was the moment that you were like, okay, this is something that I want to do? Like, what sparked this moment of you saying, hey, I'm walking this path of being a healer and being there for people, guiding people? What made you decide this?
So my life has always been me, and at the point of everyone always asks me for my opinion. What do you think? What should I do about this? How is this? And I would go to anywhere, the corner store, and questions would always come to me. Complete strangers would want to tell me their life story. I love that just about human beings, because what they don't know is it's our energy. It's who we vibe with, who we connect with. It's all about energy. So I always know when I'm vibing higher, when I'm attracting just absolutely amazing individuals. Going into the business piece, the business piece began after my last spiritual awakening. And I say last because I'm not planning on going any deep spiritual awakening, because I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it now. So I wind up being sick and bedridden. And during that time, my children and I were like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? My passions became basically what we utilize in order to heal. And when that happened and we began that deep healing process, we were like, oh my gosh, everyone needs this. How do we put that out there so others can get what they need and transform in a way that they don't have to go through the trauma, the the chaos. Like, I want to help people before the tower falls.
Yeah. And I think that's it's funny you say that. It's like people, I know for me, like when I'm working with clients, like they're in this space because they went too low, right? They went to this place where it's like, I've fallen down and I can't get up place, right? And so they're screaming for help, and then they come across and they meet, someone like you, and they say, okay, well, I need your help. And so once you get them up, they're walking again, right? And then they feel like, okay, well, I'm great now. I don't need any more of your help. And what people don't realize is that when you start on a spiritual journey, holistic journey, taking care of yourself, it's kind of like, basically, and I kind of evaluate it like this. It's like you self-medicate, or you self-diagnose and then you self-medicate. And then there comes a point where the medicine is not working. Your diagnosis is not working. You're still in pain. You're still hurting, right? And at a certain point, you know something's wrong, but you can't fix you. And a lot of times people might say, well, what do you mean by fix? Like, is something wrong? Is the person broken? No, it's more about rewiring. Everything works. It's just that where things are supposed to be, they're not. And that's something that, you can't do yourself, because you would need someone to understand that. And then so most people, it becomes like a surgical experience, right? Because now you have to do deep dives and find the root of what's going on.
Go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. And then later on, there's like, hey, we're going to put you in these two categories. Do you need short-term or long-term care? And when you hear about these things, this is what you hear at the hospital.
Exactly.
When you're at the hospital, the first thing they do, you go to your doctor. They figure out what's wrong with you. You got high blood pressure. You got this. You got that. Cool. We'll give you some medicine. When the medicine's not working anymore, and they're like, there's a deeper issue, we're going to schedule you to talk to a surgeon. And then from there, it's like, okay, now we're going to start monitoring this on a consistent basis. Now, if it's short term, we'll do it for 6 months, long term for a year or more. And that's the part where it's like, but what you do, it's like, people don't, it's a power behind what you do, because you're lifting people up and you're guiding them and you're helping them to understand that they're not alone, but it's also that, I don't want you to go back either.
And that's the biggest piece. Teaching individuals that they have everything that they need right inside of them. I don't like to say that I am even teaching people. I even coaching, I'm kind of like, all of those they don't even emphasize. I like to say that I'm just helping you to shine a light into the dark places, the places that you put on the back burner, the places that you buried underneath trauma, underneath pain, underneath hurt, underneath all these things. And it's there. Majority of us, the things that we are purposed to do in our life, we knew this when we were children. Most clients that I speak to, I'm like, what? When you were younger, what did you want to be? When you were a child, what was it that you absolutely were like, this is what I want to be. This is what I want to do. I love doing this. A lot of people that I speak to are, they say, I wanted to be a fireman. I wanted to be, I wanted to be a doctor. Okay, so let's break that down. You want to help heal people. You don't like to see people in pain. So you want to heal people. That's how you want to serve people. What are the things that you can do in the arena of helping to heal people and not seeing people in pain, or seeing people in pain and helping them to resolve that pain? There's so many, the titles, there's so many of those areas that you can tap into. That right there is such a pivotal moment, because those are the things that when you were a child, you already knew what you wanted to do in your purpose for your life. And now that you're an adult, you dealt with the world, and all the things in the world just kind of pushed it back, pushed it down. And it's just like, and when I interact with people and see people, I'm like, I can see that. How we communicate, I can so clearly see that. And so I try to sit back and, what do you believe about yourself? I need to know that first so that I can help bring all those things in the darkness and behind you through all those limited beliefs, all those lower energies, all those pains, trials, and tribulations that you've been through. And I love to see that light.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
It's beautiful because once you guide people to like the true version of them, right? It's like a lot of times people might say, well, this is like this is who I am, and it's like, no, it's not who you are. It's what's been put on you.
Yeah.
It's because when we're born, we're given an identity, we're given a name, we're given a religion, we're given so many things that says
this is who you
are.
Yes.
And you're gonna follow this path, you're gonna get married, you're gonna go to college, you're gonna get a job, and there's a part of you that's like, okay, that's a part of who I am, or this is who I am, and so you follow along with it, you go along with the flow of it, and then you realize someone asks you, like, what do you like to do? What is your goals in life? What is your vision for yourself? Oh, well, I'm going to college. Okay, but why? What inspires you to do it? I don't know.
Yeah.
And so when that moment happens, that shift happens, that's when people realize, like, I don't know who I am.
Exactly.
Like, I know, like, what I was told to be, but I don't know who I am. And the thing about it is that when you start to learn who you are, you learn, okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to explore. And sometimes in your exploration, you go through trials and tribulations, you go through ups and downs, you start realizing that you have a lot of deep-seated trauma, right? Because sometimes you might think, man, even with trauma, it's like I didn't, it's almost like equivalent to when people talk about like slavery, right? And they refer to it, and when they would talk about slavery and they refer to it, people don't understand. They're like, you're a black person, why are you feeling some type of way about slavery when it happened so long ago? And it happens. and I tell people this. I said, because trauma's in your DNA. It's in your DNA. It's like you're not going to ignore something that you can connect with. And so it's the same thing with when we're born, when we're with, when we're told who to be, we get this trauma passed down to us. So now we're shifting through generations of trauma, and we're fighting through that on a consistent basis every day. And we think it's ours.
So,
but it's almost like, here's your bags, here's the weight of the bags, and this is what life is. This is your life. And you're like, but none of this is mine. So now I gotta figure out how to let go of all of this. And then by the time I figure this out, I'm probably in my either beginning of my 30s, late 20s, or late 40s, finally being at a place where I can stand tall and be proud of who I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why this work is it's not easy, because you have to understand that when you're delving into people, and I admire you for what you do.
Listen, I love to see people happy. And when people are struggling, I'm like, I just wanna let me just give you a hug. Like
Man, man, like how many people? I don't know how many people I've met where I was like, listen, I'm gonna give you a hug. It's gonna be all right. You're gonna get through this.
yeah,
This is okay.
yeah. I mean,
Because people feel
we put so much on our own plate, and then we allow the world to put even more on that plate. And then before we know it, we just have a whole bunch of stuff. And we ourselves are that little teeny mustard seed that you can't even find because all this stuff is on it. So I'm just like, listen, when I truly and wholly was just like, who am I? Who am I without all the stuff? Who am I without titles? Who am I even without this meat suit? Who am I? Because this right here dies.
it does.
So who is the true and authentic Lady T? Who am I? Figuring that out was when, all the going down the rabbit hole and, really going deep into my spirituality and connecting with my higher self. That time is absolutely priceless because, and it's scary, but it's so priceless. Even going into your shadow self and seeing, whoa, I did that. I said that. I was that type of person. Seeing that about yourself is like, okay, I gotta go and apologize to everyone because I didn't know that that's who I was in that moment. And a lot of individuals don't take that time to see themselves so deeply and accept that part of them. It happened, it's in the past, you moved on from it, you learned through it. You have to accept it. You have to accept every part of you. That is part of the healing process. You can't hate one part of you from your past, because when you do that, you're not truly healing.
Yes. You have to I mean, man, you gotta love all of you, all or nothing, because it's like I know for me now, right? It's like I've had enough relationship experiences, right? Because where it's like you delve into relationships, they last for a long period of time, and you start realizing, like, you know what, your emotional and spiritual capacity, right? That's the thing where, like, you start to learn, like, what is your limits and what can you handle. When you are with this person, can you handle the weight of their life? Right? A lot of times people don't think about that. They meet the person, they were like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. And then after that, I'm serious, they meet her, they're like, oh my gosh, she looks so good. You know what I mean? Guys just bless me, and then you talk to the person and you realize that they have problems too. And then you're like, ooh, your problems are real. Right?
You got big people problems.
You got real problems. Like, you know what I mean? My problem is I just want to keep the lights on, so if it goes out, I got a candle. But yours is like, whoa. So, so it's kind of like, you know, I'm learning now. It's like, okay, you know what I can handle, what I can't, what works for me. Like, I'm okay with, like, I know people might say, okay, well, you know, don't you feel like, you know, you being man enough comes into question? No, I know who I am as a man. I know who I am overall. Like, it's more about understanding that you don't fall out of alignment with your purpose.
Say that again.
Right? Because that's the hard part. Because there's a lot of things come along the way, and there's a lot of good people. Sometimes good people can throw you out of alignment.
Oh my goodness. I've had that conversation before. I'm like, when someone is really full of light, you can be an energy vampire even with a whole bunch of light. If I'm just love bombing everyone and just am completely not here on this earth because I'm given so much love, that means I don't have healthy boundaries. That, you know, so either side of the spectrum, it's definitely all about alignment and a balancing act. That is imperative. Healing is all about balance. It's all about aligning your energies. You're gonna have lower energies. I'm not saying get rid of all your lower energies, because that's not how it works. It's aligning them, being aware of them, and aligning them so that they can elevate you together.
That is so true, and it's so powerful, because it's like, and even for me, right? It's like, I'm one of those people where it's like, you know, I've been doing massage for years, and I've been helping people, coaching, doing the whole thing. Like, so when you naturally have a lot to give, and it replenishes you in so many ways. You also have to learn, like, okay, how do I stop giving quantity and start giving quality? And the way you do that is, it's almost like if you go to those 5-star restaurants and they're like, oh, how much is the steak? The steak is like $250, and you're just like, dang, I could have just went to the market, right? But
Get it at home.
you know what I mean? I know how to season a steak. You know what I mean? Like, I could have did this. Like, shoot, that would have been, you know, in my mind, that was at least $2.50. At least, like, I mean, it probably more, but I would have saved some money. But, you know, when you're in those moments, you're like, okay, oh man, this is crazy. Like, I'm either at a place where I'm going to accept that, okay, let me embrace this, you know, this quality experience, and learn to start giving quality. And it's hard. It's hard giving quality, because you have to learn how to hold back. You have to learn how to love yourself. You have to learn how to spend time alone. Like, even for you, right? You ooze light. You got so much love and light in you. I could see people hanging outside your door at night, just like, She gonna come outside. I remember she gave me one of them hugs. Oh Jesus, that changed my life. Please, please come outside. You going to work?
Oh, oh goodness.
You understand what I'm saying? Because that's what happens when you heal people. People don't know what to do with that. They're like, oh man, where am I get this from?
I have very strong
Because
boundaries.
yeah, you become that. You become the thing that they're addicted to. You be like, oh snap. This why people be on the corners? I didn't even think it was me. I thought they was doing drugs. This is me? Oh snap. So now you start to realize this. So, listen, man, listen, you don't listen, you gotta be mindful of how powerful your energy is, man.
It's true.
I'm learning.
It's true. And that's also when you have high energy as well as when you have low energy. Because
Yeah.
when you just spew lower energy, man, listen, that can attract. So we're not going to go into that because I was going to say we're dealing with a lot of that right now in the world. All that lower energy gets more play, more media time than the high vibing positive energy that can actually help us through any of the chaotic imbalance. So many people right now in this moment have anxiety and are just absolutely stressed about all the things happening in the world, all the changes happening in the world right now. And then they automatically go to these low vibing messages and these low vibing, videos. Oops, sorry. And these just low vibing things instead of going inward and finding that high vibration in that peace place. And I'm like, I just want to everyone. I just want to just throw out so much light and so much love and just touch everyone so that it lifts them up. So that's not what they're attracting towards themselves. I'm like, there is so much power in words, so much energy in words, whether written, whether spoken, there's so much power in it. So when you are spewing all this negativity and low energy, you're calling in death. You're calling in death.
You are. And I think that's the other thing too. It's like you have to, what I'm learning is like, even when I talk to people, it's like, okay, obviously when I talk to some people one-on-one, they might not hear me or be dismissive of what I'm saying. And so sometimes you have to find another outlet to communicate with people, because sometimes, the frequency that you're communicating on, it's too much for them. And you might not realize it. Like, you might not realize, like say, for example, your frequency. You might be talking to somebody, and to you, you're like, hi, how are you? Let me help you today. Let me help you to understand what you're going through. Do you feel pain, or are you struggling with trauma, right? Let you feel the love of a mother's bosom. Right? So you go through all of this, right? Now, in your mind, that was very endearing. Right? In their mind, you said, what were...
You don't think that's how it's... Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
You finish communicating, right? This person, all they hear is just static, or they get angry, or they get upset. But it's just based upon the frequency that they're on. I mean, listen, I'm learning now. Like, for me, it's like how to preserve your energy, how to understand the power of your energy. And before I used to be like, oh, it's okay. I can just deliver my energy. It's fine. But one time I was at this event, and my brother, he had, he had all these people who he was just, around. They loved him. They was like, oh, I love you. How you doing? He was giving them hugs and everything like that. So my mom said, this one guy came up and he was like, oh man, your son gives the best hugs. And then my mom said, no, he doesn't. And she pointed to me. He gives the best hugs. And so I gave him a hug, right? And then he's like, oh my God. He was like, that's just crazy. And then he brought his wife over. And he said, I gave his wife a hug. She's like, oh, isn't that amazing? It's the best thing you ever felt in your life, right? Yeah. Now, I didn't see this dude again. Like, it was one time, but my brother had to, he was putting on the show, so he had to do multiple events. And so the guy came to every show because his wife was in the orchestra. And he asked for me every single day for a week. Then my brother started feeling some type of way. He's like, he ain't here. Then he asked my nephew. And that's when I realized, right? Like you have that moment where you realize that you have to understand, like, yes, you have light in you, but that light in you, it has to be measured, because it's a gift. It's a gift. So let me ask you this: with all the people that you've helped and uplifted, and I can just, like, you got plants in the background. Those are nice plants.
Yes, too. Those are my babies.
Yeah, that wouldn't be me. I'm good with helping people. Them plants be dead if it was me. If it was me, them plants be dead.
Yeah, no, I have a green thumb. I love. Those are my babies. When I speak to them and sing to them and talk to them, those are my babies.
You sing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was telling a friend of mine a story one time. I said, listen, I'm not good with animals. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, all my fish that I ever had, they died. I'm telling you, like, they died. Like, one fish I had, I poured the food in there. And I was like, okay, little fishy, this is enough for you for the week, right? And, he... and he would get mad at me. Like, he would really get mad. It was like, he would, like, bounce himself up against the glass, getting mad at me. And I was like, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong to you. The food right there, I will point to it. I would tap the glass, food down there.
Those poor animals.
But but that's that's what happened, man. Everybody got their gift. Your gift is plants and everything.
Yeah.
So, what is your plan? Like with everything that you've done, the journey you've been on, and guiding people, helping people, what is your full out vision?
We don't have enough time for my full out vision. We don't have enough time for that.
Be lady.
Yeah.
That what it is? Okay, I see you.
You get a house. You get a car. You get a house.
You get a plan.
Uh, but yeah, I definitely I just want to see people in peace and expressing themselves as their authentic self. I don't care how it is, but just knowing yourself and being able to express it in any form of art, poetry, blogging, um, videos, just any type of art, even crafts, gardening, that will help to bring you light. That will help to express your light to all in your environment. I see myself just being that. I always say that I think I was born in the wrong year, because truly I think that my soul is a hippie. Um,
I agree. I agree. I feel like I was born during like the era of Da Vinci, like, because I'll be like, yo, man, Mona Lisa looked pretty good, right? Like I was, I was, I'm serious, I'll be feeling like that sometimes, but I understand.
yeah, I do. I'm definitely, you know, all about just peace and love. You know? And I
Feel
just
you.
I want to be able to feel that in the environments that I'm in. And if it's not felt, I want to be able to express it. I want to be that walking light, that when I walk into a room, if there is darkness, the light within me will help to bring it out.
You wanna? Gotcha.
And however I can do that, I'm willing. I'm a master herbalist, so I do a lot of plants and herbs and um, oils and all that stuff. Organic stuff, natural stuff. I'm a energy healer, and so however I can get that out to help lift the vibration, and I'm all for it. And me being a Zen Spirit Life Coach, that's just helping people just to reacclimate with their truest, most valuable, beautiful, inspirational, motivational, just powerful inner self. And to be able to express that outside of themselves humbly and healthy, I'm all for it.
And I think that's awesome, because it's like being able to do that. Most people don't understand. Like they don't understand. Like, okay, well, what is it like being with someone who's like that, where they are healers and givers, and they're like that with other people. But how is that person in your personal life? And what people don't understand is that there's a battle. There's a battle when you wake up. There's a battle when you gotta go to work. There's a battle like where you gotta go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, and be like, okay, I'm gonna go Angela Bassett for 5 seconds. I'm your hood and get yo. Because I ain't trying to kill nobody today, so I'm gonna get real calm today. Calm myself down. I ain't gonna get hood. I ain't gonna get nothing. Let me get me some tea.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Calm down. And that's it. I think what people don't understand is mostly you talking to yourself a lot. Trying to stay calm. Like, that's what people
listen.
I know you understand what I'm saying. Like,
I always say I am in prayer all day long. I
yes,
am in
yes,
prayer all day long.
yes.
And
Like, I'm,
that
man,
is intentional. That is, and it takes that intention and practice every single day because I know where I could go. I'm just choosing not to go. So
listen,
I don't want that side of me out in the public, in the
yeah,
open.
yeah, I feel. Listen, I told my nephew he graduated from high school, and I was just like, I want you to understand something. You are a black man in America.
Mm.
Give you some sound advice, okay? He's like, well, what is it? I was like, it's real deep. It's gonna change your life. He's like, okay, well, what's the advice? Either you create your prison, or you're gonna go to prison. And he was just like, I was like, now it's different when if somebody says you're gonna go to prison, because you don't have no control over none of it. But if you create yours, you can go for a walk, you can go to movies.
Exactly.
It's just a relationship. There's a lot of things that you can do with your life, but you have to make sure that it's very structured.
Yeah.
And so if you live your life aimlessly, you won't be able to live a life that's fulfilling for you. You know,
and you don't want to leave this earth with regrets.
You don't. And so when I told him that, he called me one day and he was just like, listen, I just wanted to tell you, I'm building my prison. That's good. I'm proud of you.
You learn.
You learn. I'm helping you. You know what I mean? I don't want to see you on the news. Like, I want you to be okay, you know?
Yeah.
So, if you had to give some jewels of wisdom to people who are, are walking your path or at the beginning stages of your path, and what would you give them? What would you tell them to help keep them motivated?
I would say stop right now. Take a deep breath. Feel that breath inside of your body. Feel that breath inside of your heart. Feel that breath inside of your belly. You are filled with God. You are filled with more than enough. That inner child desires your love. Maybe he or she didn't get that love as a child. It is your responsibility to give that child love. Once you do that and you tap into it within yourself, the possibilities are endless. And I'm going to say that again. The possibilities are endless. Build that outside of yourself, and not only will you be able to heal you'll be able to heal your children, your husband or wife, your parents, your siblings, your cousins, your friends, your co-workers, your neighbors, the people down the street, your animals, the planet. Don't give up. Tap into her or him. They're waiting for you. That's it.
That's it. That's it. Those scissors, you know what I mean? Shit went all Martin Luther King, Malcolm X on you, and that's it? You heard that? Did y'all hear that?
That's it.
Okay. All right. All right. So yeah, you know what I mean? Dropping spiritual mics. You know what I mean? I ain't ready for that. Okay. So how can I hear you. I can hear you. And shout out to Verizon.
Can you hear me now?
So let me ask you a question. So how can people find you online?
So we are on just about all social media platforms. Our foundational business is Divine Goddess of Harmony. It's God/DESS, Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. That's why we did it that way. Or I do my coaching in Divine Harmony Design Academy. That's where all the coaching goes down. We have a community that's off of that. That's called Circle of Healing, of course. And that is where we do a whole bunch of just stuff. Every month we do live videos. We have meditation moments, powerful prayer moments. Oh my goodness. Every week I do an intuitive message. I channel and go within and receive any messages for you for the week. Every Wednesday, we have Wellness Wednesdays, where the topic is, of course, about wellness, but it can stem from, physical health, mental health, emotional health. So it's just spiritual health. It just goes down the line. Yeah. So that's where you can find me. Any of those channels. I'm sure when we put this up, I could just give you all the links to all that stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I was going to add you to our community as well. And then anyone that's looking for you there, they can connect and,
Definitely.
Yeah, because this was awesome. I had fun. Like, I had fun. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah, because it's, I think that's the thing about it. It's like when you have the kindred spirits and, and people just connect, you can, it's easier. It's a lot easier, a lot more smoother, So
all about the vibe.
Yeah. And I want to, you have daughters or sons or daughters?
I have a daughter, 2 sons.
2 sons. So we're going to give a shout out to them for supporting you.
Yes.
Because
my business partners.
Yeah, you need somebody believing in you. Can't just believe in yourself.
Hello.
That's not enough.
I did something right.
It's not enough just believing in yourself. I get a little sad sometimes. You'd be like, oh God, it's just me. Like, so when you got other people believing in you, like, I'm on to something. It could be one person.
Yeah.
But
they inspire me. They help me to be a better me every single day. So I'm like, all those years that I was a cheerleader for them, I still am. But now it's really nice to have it reciprocated. So,
It's time to receive the love you gave. You know, I mean,
amen.
you put it out there. It's time to get it back. You know what I mean? Like reparations, just get it back.
Yeah.
You know this is mine, right? This is my love. I'm just like, I know that. Putting that out there, is telling y'all. I thought it was our love. Nope, it's mine. But y'all know. You can borrow it, but it's mine. I'm just saying. Lady T, it was a pleasure interviewing you today, because I just had so much fun.
Yes.
You know, and I hope you guys enjoy. Hope you learned some stuff. She dropped a lot of knowledge. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.